Just went on a little run. I'm out here in the woods hiking today. So what has come up for me before I went on my run was being fearlessly transgender. Having that grit, knowing that you may not know what the outcome is beyond just saying yes to your truth or your higher self or anything that says, my gender is different than the way that I'm expressing it right now. But you have to be fearlessly transgender. Fearlessly transgender. For me, that means being this 19-year-old kid, knowing that I was transgender, and being super feminine, and having long hair, wearing makeup and all that, and having no idea how I was going to explain to people that my inside is completely different than the way I was presenting myself. And I had to, in every instance, in every moment that I wanted to give up, I had to have that grit, that fire. I had to pull that out of me, knowing that I may not know anything of what the outcome is going to be. I mean, sitting here from 2012 is when I started my transition, and now it's 2018. It's 6 years later, and it's really trippy talking to this camera and looking at myself and seeing the person that I embody now, and not only the physical changes, but the spiritual and emotional and intellectual changes, the unfolding that's happened. And I knew I would get to this place because I set an intention to be happy. My intention of transitioning was to simply be happier. It was never about just the physical changes, but it's really trippy to just look at myself now and knowing that every moment I have just been relentless, knowing that I deserve this, relentless in listening to my higher self. And so the words relentless and fearless really come up for me. It doesn't mean that you don't have fears. It's that when they come up, you release them because you say, you know what, these aren't going to serve me. These aren't going to serve me moving forward. I have to release the fear because you know what? I don't care if my auntie at the family reunion is going to call me by the wrong name or whatever, or is going to think that my hair looked better when it was longer. And who cares? Because every day I get to wake up in this body and I get to be this person and I get to embody this. And right now I'm in the woods. I could take my shirt off. I could go running and hiking in the woods with my shirt off, embodying this person that I think about when I was like 4 or 5 years old. Because before then, you don't know that it's inappropriate for girls to not have their shirts off. So I was running around like a little Tarzan, my backyard or whatever, and pretending I was Hercules. And now, because I was relentless and fearless, I get to embody that person, that vision that I always had for myself. And I'm doing justice to that kid. And I'm doing justice to my future self. And the grit and the relentlessness and the fearlessness and all that comes up for being transgender, that you have to pull out of yourself. It's because you know that you deserve it. You know that 5-year-old kid deserves to see you like that. You know that your 35-year-old self or your 65-year-old self or your 85-year-old self deserves to embody the fullest expression of you. And it's easy to pull out the grit and the relentlessness and that fire when you've decided and you've determined that you're deserving, and that any fear anybody else has tried to put on you You don't deserve to carry it around, and you get to release it. And so you get to be fearless, and you get to step into the fire knowing that you may not know what the outside, what it's gonna look like when you get there, but it's sure as hell worth it. So to my 5-year-old self, to my 65-year-old self, I love you. I will continue to be fearless and relentless and full of grit and determination, because I've already determined that I deserve it. And right now, I'm gonna lay in the sun because it is so warm with my shirt off and embody the person beyond just the physical changes, the spiritual, emotional, intellectual, beautiful, happiness intention person that I always knew that I could get to, because I released the fear. I was fearless. And I'm gonna lay here in the sun with my shirt off because I got to this place through my relentlessness. So there it is. I love you. I love each and every single one of you. You can follow me on Instagram. It's Ashton James Colby. I'll leave everything in the description below. And stay awesome, because you literally already are awesome. It's just releasing whatever limiting beliefs that other people have tried to put on you and unfolding the awesomeness that already literally is in there. Just stay awesome. You already are that. And until next time, I love you.